mind blown because you had no idea how much you are stifling, squashing, smashing yourself, keeping you from having all the things that are meant to be yours. You get to choose in every single moment what is the highest way. When we practice freedom, we are moving things out of the way that have been hindering us. We're practicing limitations by choosing to stay in chaos. We are searching for something that we're trying to fill ourselves with. We want a better outcome. We want certain things. We want things to give us this sense of freedom. And yet by doing that, we're actually staying in limitations. You're practicing not having freedom. You're practicing not being happy, not being joyful, not being free, practicing being limited. So what does this really mean? You would never, well, let me ask you, would you ever talk to your friends or family the way your mind speaks to you? Would you ever speak that out loud? Probably not. What are you practicing? When you are practicing freedom, you are in courageousness. It's easy. It's easy for me. It's easy for them. It's easy for us. It's easy for you. We can do it. There's not resistance. It's also in that space of grace, that space of acceptance and peace, as it's okay for things to be exactly the way they are. We're in peace as peace, not separate from things, not divisive. We're practicing limitations by choosing to stay in chaos, in the spinning mind, in the rumination, in worrying about what's going on, who's approving of you, what kind of control you're trying to maintain so you can kind of have it work out in your favor. None of these things are free, right? Not one of them. Because when you fall inward, this is a gentle, soft opening your awareness. When you fall inside, the grace that is available to you is so spacious and velvety, smooth and open. There is no you're better than them or they have something that you don't have. None of that exists. And you can actually live from this place. You won't live from it like in a drooling bliss. But you can practice freedom in a way that you can really recognize how you are holding on to the story, how you are living it, how you're attaching yourself almost desperately to trying to get an outcome, which really is just saying to the universe, I don't have it, I don't have it. So say, for instance, you're attached to maybe having more clients, right? And you're really wanting that. There's a huge desire. It's a deep lust. When you do this, you're practicing limitation because you're hooking into holding on to not having it, right? You're pushing away having it because you're in wanting. You can't have and want at the same time. It's not possible. You can't stand or sit at the same time. You can't hold your breath and breathe in or out at the same time. So it's one or the other. You're either having it or you're wanting it. So practicing freedom, practicing limitations, you get to choose in every single moment what is the highest way. But you don't know that because you weren't handed the handbook when you were born that says, here's how I do this. This is how it works. So how do we do this? We have to learn ways. Sometimes when the mechanics of how this stuff works is brought to light, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing this. You're not being bad or wrong. You just didn't know. But now that you do know that there's a potential way to see, we have to be able to look at what's going on. And what I usually hear people say is, I don't want to feel my feelings. I don't want to feel the sensations. I'm anxious all the time. I don't sleep. My focus is, I wake up with these terrible thoughts. It's like a panic. That's because things are trying to move out of you that you're pushing back down. So when there's letting go, releasing, freeing up, there's many ways. But when you really have a way to do that directly, where you know exactly how to turn in, identify the thing, find where it is. Now you've taken the lead and you're in the top position. Your mind in that moment is not running the show. So when people tell me how afraid they are of what the feeling could possibly be that comes up, that they're trying to not feel, that they don't want to think about, they don't want to do anything about, you're missing some opportunities. But there is something delicious waiting for you. You have choices. 7 little words to practice freedom. That's a very simple tool you can automatically just snap out. It's like a magical transformational tool. Anyone who does it and uses it correctly, they have magical responses because the magic is really in you. It just gives you a moment to step back away from your wanting to hang on to this thing so intensively so that you could just have it be easy. So do you want to keep practicing the limitations? Take the opportunity and find a way to let me know, grab your friends, and we'll do it. We'll do a live stream or we'll do something like that where we can write down how you're really limiting yourself. And when you can see this, you'll be like, mind blown, because you had no idea how much you are stifling, squashing, smashing yourself, keeping you from having all the things that are meant to be yours. Everything is trying to come to you, but you're pushing it away. People always say, well, if people have a lot of money, they don't have a problem. It is not true. There's other problems, there's bigger problems, there's more problems in different ways. Everyone has their own way, but it's still the same crap when I pull away all the stories. It's still the same feelings. Inadequacy, feeling less than, don't deserve, feel guilty, want to do better, are afraid, things could be taken away. This is the same language that all humans have. And some people are better at practicing it or started earlier, and some people are not. But the 7 little words, and if you have them, and if you've been using them, hit reply and share your stories with me. I'd love to know exactly what you're experiencing. Are you using them? That tells you a lot about how you're limiting yourself. People who really take this by storm and grab it and really use it, they have amazing results. Like on the spot. Like, oh, the thing at the grocery store wasn't going so well, and there was this huge line, and I did it, and a line opened up. Now, every time that they're in any line, the line opens up. I went to get my tires changed, and because I had a flat, and they said, I'd have to wait because I wasn't scheduled in. Somehow they were the next person. This is what happens when you start getting it out of your way and you start being able to say, there's a way that I can look at myself that isn't so scary. That's my job here, to guide you to the fastest point between A and B in the most effective, proficient, profound, practical way. And yeah, sometimes we do it in ways you've never even thought existed. But that's what I'm here for. That's why I've tested and retested and practiced so many things from around the world. And I've gotten a deep knowledge within myself, because when I do something, I do it to the nth degree until I understand every little teeny curve or thing that could happen, any kind of resistance. So I talk about resistance a lot, because people, you are living in resistance and you don't know it. But when you start realizing that resistance is something you can recognize, identify, and it goes out of the way, you then slide right into life. You step in on your own red carpet because you're a leading lady. Perhaps you're a leading gentleman. I typically prefer working with women because I spent many years working with men in Wall Street, and you guys tend to be a little transactional. If you're not just transactional and you're really ready for true change, I'll happily work with you. But women tend to have a deeper commitment to themselves. And that commitment, that's what's going to get you through. I'm here to inspire you and also kind of give you like that initiation boost to move into the new thing, to find the better way to love living life. I bring the new stuff. I do. I bring other stuff that you don't know exists. A lot of people said, oh, I've done so much inner work. They come to see me and they're like, I've never done anything like this. Or maybe this might remind me of something, but I never had results like this before. So in the description, give me a holler. Let me know how you're doing. I do really care about what is going on for you. You are so much more than any of your thoughts. You are an infinite being, and we have to learn how to stop pretending to be limited, unlearning old limitations to being who we really are. Enjoy. Be kind to yourself, like really kind. Like when you get those messages, stop listening. But you got to learn, you might have to learn how to do that. I get it. Okay. Do the best you can. Bye for now.